What's good, fam? Welcome back to my channel. Today I am coming back to you guys with another speed build. This is going to be smaller than any other house that I've done so far. I did do a challenge forever and a day ago for myself. You guys haven't seen it, but for myself I did a challenge forever and a day ago to see if I could build a small house in like 2 hours. And my issue was a matter of like time, but this time I just wanted to see if I could build a tiny house, so that's what I did. And I didn't set out to build like a tiny house in the way that people think about it. I just wanted to see if I could build something small and livable on this 20 by 15 lot in Oasis Springs. And I was able to pull it off. I really like the way that it looks. Of course, it's a little square. It's a little bit more modern because you guys know that that's what I love to do. And I don't normally do red houses at all, so I definitely wanted to try that out as well. I had a lot of fun building this house though. Because it was so tiny, I was able to look at and to explore with so many different like concepts and spacing and stuff like that. So it was definitely a lot of fun to do. I enjoyed doing it. And I love having skylights as well. You guys can see that. Like, I love having skylights in my builds, so I just added it to this one because it totally fit. It really did. But yeah, that's what I was setting out to do with this house. I've been trying to adhere to my schedule. I didn't do too good last week, but I mean, since you guys are here, we're going to talk about this. I have been trying to adhere to my schedule. It's just been a hectic few weeks. It really has. Like, my schedule has gotten so packed with so much stuff that I have to do outside of YouTube, and I'm just like, ugh. Like, it's really... But I've been doing my best and I've been trying, and I do plan on having another episode, as a matter of fact, of my LP in Solani. Should be on Friday, and I honestly might do another one on Saturday too, because I am going to try and adhere to that schedule in its totality. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But yeah, this house is pretty small. I think it does get a little bit bigger. Like, I stretched out the back a little bit more, but that's because I literally didn't have enough space for everything that I needed, unless I wanted to add a second floor, and that's not what I wanted to do at all. But okay, to point this out, I never use these windows at all. You guys see what I mean? Like, some of the stuff in this house is stuff that I never ever use in my builds at all. Like, obviously you guys see like my favorite doors and everything, but I never use these windows. I totally didn't even know we had them in the game. So I got to play around with those, and that was a lot of fun. Messing with the spacing and everything was a lot of fun as well. Oh yeah, you see, it did get a little bit bigger, but it's still like really, really small. And so I had to double check when I was building the house. I was like, would this qualify as a starter house? And no, it totally doesn't, not at all. Because the sim definitely has expensive taste. Like, I have expensive taste when I am building. It's less than 50,000 simoleons though, so that's fine. But I got to play with like this tiny itty bitty little bathroom, like a little 2x2 thing, and it threw me so far off. Like, I couldn't fit a sink in the bathroom at all. And later on in the build, you guys are gonna see I actually forgot to put a door there. So there would have been no way to even access the bathroom, so I had to figure it out. And I wanted to play around with all kinds of different stuff, like just the spacing, like the challenge of building something smaller was a huge deal for me in this build in specific. I just wanted to build something tiny before I went to bed for the night. And I ended up being able to get away with it. Now you guys can see I'm using like everything is red, like everything is like white, black, or red, and that's going to be the color scheme for this house, which is awesome for me for a few reasons, because I never use that color scheme, like ever. I almost never use like red in my houses at all, and I never do like just plain black or plain white. It's always like accents or bits and pieces of something. But no, a completely like black and white house, like a completely almost monochromatic house with those pops of color, it was just gorgeous. I loved building this house. It was so much fun. And it's just, I don't know, it was such a challenge because it's so far outside of my normal building style. Like, you guys know me. You've seen enough of my builds at this point to know what I'm talking about. Dude, I use blue in everything. I use blue in everything. So you'll be pleased to know there is not a shred of blue in this house. There's not a shred. Well, see, let me double check. If there is blue, I think it's like purely in like clutter, but I don't think that there's any blue at all in this house in any way, shape, or form, which was really cool. I was like, oh my god, I can totally build with other colors. because I'm so like blue is my comfort zone and I don't understand why it is because it like I said it's not my favorite color. It's just one of the more versatile colors to build with. So that's what I did. But okay, so the cool part about doing such a short build, like such a small build, is that it doesn't take as much time. So my voiceover is going to be a little bit shorter today because I don't need to talk as much. There's not as much video to look at. Oh, you guys are looking at me now like playing with the kitchen. I really wanted to do an oddly shaped kitchen like that, like something that's kind of like, I don't know, like Z-shaped almost. Like I wanted to do something like that, but it ended up not working in this house. I'm not abandoning that idea though. I'm totally going to do that in a different house, like something that's Z-shaped and like curves around the walls like that a little bit. I thought that was so cool. Like it was just awesome. There just wasn't enough space for what I was trying to do. And so I did end up like messing around with the kitchen a lot because I could like the entire point of this house was the challenge of building something smaller. So it was just like the spacing, trying to figure out where everything goes. And I mean, it all ended up shaking out in the end anyway, but Lord, when I was building it, I was like, girl, no, none of this goes anywhere. And then I had to remember, like, what are the necessities to have in the house? And incidentally, I never forget to do this. I never forget to put a trash can and a mailbox in the house. But when I don't even place them in the video that you guys are looking at. They'll be in the house tour because I remembered, like, when I came back to do my little flyby or whatever, I was like, oh crap, there's no mailbox. Like, how are they supposed to get their bills? There's no mailbox. So, and there was no trash cans, not even outside. Like there was nothing. And okay, because this house is so small and because the lot was so small, I didn't feel all that pressed, honestly, to do a lot of landscaping because there wasn't enough space to put it in anyway. So there's not really a backyard. There's a back deck, but like that's about it because I mean, there's not much out there anyway. It's the desert. So I just wanted to kind of like plonk this house in the middle of the mountains and be like, oh, well, this is cool. And like, let that be what it is. When I was imagining the sim that would live in this house, I was thinking that they would be more of like, I don't know, a modern person, like somebody who maybe migrated from San Myshuno and was like, well, I want to have a smaller house or a vacation house or something like that, like just something small. Oh, and yeah, that right there. I'm working on the bathroom right now. Like you wouldn't think it has everything. It doesn't have a sink in it at all. It doesn't have a sink because there's already a sink in the house. And because my thinking is like, oh, well, the sim who lives here is just going to live here by themselves. So it won't really matter. They have a shower and they have a toilet and that's what matters. You have the sink like right outside the door. So it's okay. It's totally fine. They're just here by themselves anyway. So it wouldn't matter. But I found so many cool red objects in the game that I didn't even know were in there. Like playing around with this spacing and this color scheme is just so cool. Like, I don't know, it looks so modern and it just, it's just gorgeous. I've never worked with so many of the items in this build. And I'm just like, whoa, like this rug, for instance, I never use this rug at all. I wish it was bigger. Like I wish that we had the ability to choose how we want the patterns to appear on the rugs or whatever. But you know, I feel like that would be a lot of coding. Like I feel like that would just be a lot of work. So I'm not even gonna ask for that from like the Sims gurus or whatever, because that's just extra. And every pattern does not look good on every shape. I know that too. But again, the return of the white shelves, you guys know how much I love these things. Like they're so versatile and they fit everything. And I was originally just gonna do like a typical like bank of what are they called? Cabinets. I don't know why that word was so difficult for me to come up with. Anyways, I was just gonna do a typical bank of cabinets, but I didn't really see the need to. Like, I didn't want to block off the walls. I didn't want to block off those windows, and I didn't want to change the way that the kitchen looked. I didn't want it to look too heavy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if that makes sense, but like once you start putting like cabinets and stuff, then it looks like a kitchen, as opposed to just like, I don't know, a cool modern space. And that was what I was interested in. Oh, that little end piece, the little diagonal end piece is not going to end up staying there because I needed some place to put the trash can because I totally forgot to put one in this house. I really did. But yeah, it was just, this house was really fun to build. I had a lot of fun building, and I was on video chat with my friends and we were listening to music and studying, and it was just a really fun time. So this house was a lot of fun to build. It was just awesome. It was fun to build. And I think that like, because I'm so much more drawn to bigger lots, like I forget that you can cram a whole lot of stuff into a very small amount of space. And like, I don't even play with like the apartments in San Myshuno and stuff like that because I think that they're pretty tiny too. And I'm just like, well, I mean, like you could get away with it. Like if you go to like one of the penthouses or like one of the 3-bedroom apartments or whatever, but I really like building the walls for myself. And I don't like not being able to rearrange the walls in San Myshuno. Like I get the concept, like obviously you can't rearrange the walls in your apartment because it's not an apartment. Like it's a house. It wouldn't be realistic to be able to do so anyway. So I understand the concept, but whatever. My point is I like building houses for myself, and having the chance to build this smaller house was a lot of fun for me. This build is honestly coming to an end here in a little bit. I told you guys, like, this video is so much shorter than what I would normally do, and so my commentary is going to be that much shorter. And so, like, you know how I'll like go off on a tangent when I'm doing my voiceovers? Now you guys get to listen to like a truncated version of that, I guess. So that's fun. I'm gonna say this and then I actually am gonna sign off. I originally was gonna stick with like these orange tiles that you see before I changed everything, but the orange tiles that you see on the roof and on the porch, I was gonna stick with those because I wanted to do something that was like red, yellow, and orange. But oh my god, the red, black and white is just so much more fun for me. It just is. And I honestly might play with this color scheme again because it was a lot of fun to build with. Okay, anyways, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. If you like the video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. If you want to see more builds from me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And be sure to check out episode 2 of my Let's Play coming tomorrow. I will be keeping up with my schedule Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. That's when I'll have new videos posted. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Hasta!